I might be working with a student who is struggling with their teen numbers. So I will pull out some of the teen cards and ask the students to identify what the numeral is. I might first lay them out and just ask them to hand me a certain number. So I might say, show me 12, show me 14, show me 13, show me 11. Then I might show them to the student, ask them to identify the number and say it. And then I might put them in random order after they have identified what the number is, what the numeral is. And then I might ask them to put them in order from smallest to largest and see if they can find the beginning number and then the numbers that come next. And as they do it, say it. I can have the kids learn how to do this on their own. I can step away for a moment and then come back and check. So I can do this with counting by ones, counting by fives, counting by tens, counting by twos, any multiple. We can work on counting forwards and backwards. So there are many opportunities. We can do this on the pocket chart or on the table. For students who are working on sequencing numbers, knowing what numbers come before and after, I have a variety of bags that are already made up with with 6 numerals in each bag. Some of them are just counting by ones, and then some of them are counting by multiples. So for students who are practicing counting by ones, they can grab a bag. They can actually see what the numerals are, or I can have them already out and have that covered up so they don't know. They might do this on their own, or they might do it with me. A lot of times I'll do this activity when I'm doing an actual intervention that's like a 20-minute intervention. This is one of the first warm-ups I do when I'm getting the rest of the class ready. The students will grab a bag and they'll go through this sequence. So if I'm there with them, I ask them to say it with me to tell me the numerals, or they can say it to themselves. So they have to say them: 22, 20, 17, 21, 18, 19. Then they have to lay them out and then figure out which card is the starter card. Some of the students struggle with that. I have a number grid in front of each of them face down so that if they need some support, they can turn it over, get the support, and then turn it face down again. So once they start, they say 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They put them in order, they say it, then they say it. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They say it forward first, then I ask them to say it backwards, and they go through the sequence every time. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Then I ask them to leave the first one face up, turn the rest of them face down. There's that screening piece, so they're not seeing them and they're having to visualize what the next number is. 17, then they say the number. 18, and then they check it. 19, check it. If they get stuck, they can turn the number grid over, find the numeral, and find what comes next. Turn it face down. 20, 21, 22. Then I ask them to leave the final one, the end one, face up and turn the rest face down. Then they go backwards. 22. What's right before that? 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. So they can check it themselves. If I'm working with them, I might leave one of the middle ones up and ask them to tell me what number comes before, what comes after. I'll use a lot of different language here. What number is one less? what is one more, so that they're hearing all that different language. So students can choose a bag if they've been working on counting by ones and also by counting by fives and tens. They can grab another bag and it shows them what it is by fives and what the starter card is. Other times when they're ready for it, I will take the cards, like I said, out of the bags, put the cards on top, and cover up the what they're counting by, and then they take the cards, they say them, so this student would not see that, and they'd say 50, 55, 60, 35, 40, 45. Then they would have to think, what are we counting by? When I first started this, I thought this would be really difficult for the students, but it was very motivating, very exciting to them, and they loved to be able to figure out what the sequence was, what the counting sequence was, and they were very good at it. It was very exciting to see. So then the student would look at this and say, this is counting by fives. And then they have to find the starter number, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and then they can go through that same sequence that I just showed, where they say it forward, they say it backwards, they leave this one face up, turn the rest face down, check as they go through the sequence, and then the most difficult one is to start with the end number, leave it face up, turn the rest face down, and then count backwards by multiples of 5. And if they need to, they can get the number grid out and see if they can figure that out. It's a great warm-up activity. It's a great independent activity because once the students learn that sequence, they're very good at doing it by themselves. And so then when I'm ready to work with them, then I can come over and join them. But it can keep them working